Good morning, everybody. As I promised, this is the 7th of August. Yesterday we raced the fourth race of the championship of the Mediterranean Cup here in Rieti. Last night was we landed very late. It was the longest task. Was 500 kilometers, and then with stretching a little longer, some people almost made 600 kilometers. People landed between 6:30 and almost 7 or 8. Unfortunately, being the toughest of the races so far, and the conditions were not extremely powerful, so they didn't allow some people to save some bad situation. There's been several landing out. People didn't make it back, or they had to turn the engine on, which kills the race. But I also know there has been a couple of there's been one accident that with the result of destroying the glider. Actually, I think the most important thing is all the safety, and the most important thing is that the pilot will hear today's from the news. Last night was very brief, and the pilot is doing well. That's the most important thing. But that shows you that the pilot is a very skilled pilot, very famous glider pilot, and that is probably used to soar everywhere. But here conditions are very specific. The valleys could be a trap. You enter too low and you might not be able to escape if there is a ridge to pass or something like that. That's a very technical thing to explain how our gliders very high performance, but if the conditions are very weak, they're not the best gliders for weak conditions. We're meant to top speed 200, 250, 270 in final glide, and in thermal we turn around at between 120 and sometimes 130 and 40 kilometers an hour in a circle, which is the G-force is tremendous. I was gonna try to be more specific. There's so many of you that are just being introduced to gliding words, so I will try to use terminology that is understandable. So yesterday's task was very hard for us for the beginning, because we were lost in the grid. So when we reached the start line, we were quite low, and some people had been soaring for 45 minutes before us, and they managed to reach 3,000 meters when we, for some reason, the conditions were too weak, and we had to rush to start the race without gaining the highest position, the highest level. That sets the whole race on the wrong foot. You start on the wrong foot. You're trying to recuperate, and that leads to more mistakes. One mistake leads to another mistake. So at the end, we tried, as I tried to tell you, my duty in the back is make sure everything works well. Alberto concentrates on the actual flying. I do more navigation. I do more. I propose different alternatives, updates, and the birds are our biggest help. When there is a hawk or a falcon, it's a very positive thing to seek after, and to chase those birds. That really always leads you to the best thermals. So yesterday's race for us was not as good as the day before. Our average speed was quite low, because you have to stretch for a longer legs, and that usually the average speed goes lower on a longer race. 300, 350 kilometers, there you can top speed 150, 160, 145. We only did 126, which is the lowest so far. But we're still, this much from the podium. At the moment, we could get close to the third position. We hope we're not even half the race through. So this is a long 10 days competition that tells you how tiring it is for the pilots. Last night we had to pack up and to reset the glider for the next day. And here I am, it's 9 o'clock, and I've been already working 1 hour to prepare the batteries, to prepare all the equipment that you need. We need to have backup. The system, one day, the turbulence was so strong that the whole avionics went off, and we lost the recording. without the recording of the flight, you cannot submit your flight to the competition organization, and they will not grant you the flight. You might lose the whole flight, and you lose the competition. So always, look at every little details. Make sure that this is it for now. I have to hurry, and we'll start today. As you can see, there's no one cloud yet, which is a little bit bad for us, even though good weather is always good. But we need some clouds, because those are our guidance. We basically follow the clouds. If you have so many clouds, sometimes we call them streets of clouds, that you soar underneath the clouds. That's the strongest thermals, and you are able to hop almost like a dolphin, and you just hop from one cloud to another and try to reach usually the ridge. The ridge is the mountain, and it gets sometimes a breeze, and the breeze follows the ridge, and it takes you to the highest point of the mountain. I really will have to find a time to do a session to explain how, for the one of you that are not already pilot, I will try to make a special session, like a tutorial maybe. But for the moment, I'm so busy on a daily report that we'll see tonight. Maybe I'll try to give you a little update tonight of how the race went. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.